The world might feel a bit more chaotic and a bit more divided. It's easy to forget sometimes that there are constants. Your home's still your home, your family's still your family, and all the structures of our society are still there to look after you if you need it.
Here we go. George's resource.
Adult male, code red trauma, 10 minutes.
Activate the helipad.
There's been an explosion on a building site.
Heart rate 200.
Open your eyes, open your eyes.
Imagine having to work here.
Hello, Annie, can I help?
St George's, London.
It's all gonna kick off now.
One of Britain's busiest A&E departments.
Are we ready to roll?
Carry on CPR.
Oh, goodness me, it's all happening, isn't it?
We need to fix that, or you won't survive.
Is it?
A place where life,
Would you say I was fit, Doctor? Honestly, I think I'm quite fit.
love,
You are my everything. I love you, and it's okay.
and loss
Oh, Mum. I'm so sorry.
unfold every single day.
For every bad thing that you see, there is something equally wonderful out there.
Filmed across one 24-hour period, these are the stories of a nation and its health service.
I thought I was going to die.
You're definitely not going to die. You've got too many good doctors and nurses here.
When people experience really significant illness or injuries, we see people pull together, we see relationships get stronger, and we see people reflect on what really is the most important things in their life.
Whatever happens, it's going to be okay.
I love you.
Love you too.
I think there is a sense of duty in being a doctor. You have a job to do and you're there as a medical professional. The patients expect you to be honest. You can learn the science behind it all, how the body works and what treatments you can give. But every patient is different. You also have to think about the wider part. How does this affect the person? How is it going to affect their ongoing life? You can't treat the injury in isolation without treating the person as well.
Any resource? Trauma, yep. 95-year-old female, yeah. 15 minutes. Next bite. Adult female major trauma call, ETA 15 minutes.
What's the trauma?
Fall down 10, 11 steps and chest injuries.
Okay.
A 95-year-old woman is being rushed to St George's after falling down a flight of stairs.
Old person falling over. I'm going to order a CT.
When you get the pre-alert that it's a very elderly patient, you do worry about what injuries they have.
Has Tim got the lorazepam in there, have you? We've got it here.
At the back of your mind, you are always thinking for the same injuries, an older person is going to behave very differently to a younger person. The very worst case scenario, elderly patients can die from them.
The patient's daughter is on her way to the hospital.
Mum had had a few falls in the last few years. We knew she would never tackle the stairs on their own, but she had the stair lift. I was at work as usual. When I saw the calls from my brother Arthur, I knew that something would have happened to Mum. It was very rare for him to call me. He said that Mum had had a fall. She fell off the stair lift. I remember thinking, I don't like the sound of this. It sounds worse than I thought.
Going over to the left, 1, 2, 3.
Yes. This is Sylvia. She's 95 years of age. And today she had an unwitnessed fall from about 11 steps from her stair lift. There was no banister, so there's nothing that broke her fall. Possible pelvic injury and chest injury, and there's reduced air entry to the upper right lobe.
Hey Sylvia, what hurts at the moment? That side?
Not much.
Something going on here.
Sylvia, how bad is the pain right now? Do you want to have more pain relief? Okay.
If a patient has fallen down the stairs, you'd be worried about significant head injury, but also significant internal injury, so rib fractures, pelvic fractures, or bleeding within the abdomen.
Just keep still, Sylvia.
X-ray bay 4.
Take a deep breath in, out, in, out.
You don't really fully appreciate how unwell patients are until you've fully examined them, until you've looked for any hidden injuries.
So Sylvia, we're going to take you for a scan, okay? The scan will be from your head down to where your pelvis is. We're focusing on everything in the middle because if you cause any injuries in the middle, it could be life-threatening potentially, okay?
Scan first. Yeah, let's scan her.
I really did admire Mum for being so strong. It did seem like she was invincible. So I really didn't expect this to happen.
Slow.
95-year-old Sylvia is undergoing an emergency CT scan after she fell down the stairs at home. Doctors are concerned she may have fractured her pelvis.
Mum was born in Sutton in 1923 and she lived in Sutton all of her life. My mum was the oldest of 4. She had one sister and 2 brothers, and they all used to live in the newsagents above the shop. I don't imagine there was a lot of room in those days. I do get the impression that Mum was probably a little bit feisty growing up. But she obviously didn't just sit quietly and let things happen. It just sounds as if she actually went out and sort of did things for herself. She used to enjoy going out on her bike. I remember hearing stories about Mum going cycling up Box Hill, for example. Clearly, she was a bit of a daredevil, really.
Does she have any, you guys worried about shoulder injuries?
She may be having a clavicle and a few ribs on the left.
Mum was 17 when she enlisted for the war, which was actually before the call-up time. I imagine her parents were rather shocked. I don't imagine they'd have been that keen, but they obviously let her go. Whether she wanted to do something because she thought it was exciting or whether she wanted to help the war effort or both, but clearly she was keen to get involved. It definitely gave her a sense of independence going to war, I'm sure.
Breathe in and hold your breath.
I think she was a sergeant. She used to do the radar and she worked on various gun sites because it was a standing joke in the family that if anybody went anywhere around the country, it'd be, oh, I think I was on a gun site there during the war. She used to talk about the friends she had then and she used to play the piano in the officers' mess. Mum loved to play ragtime and honky-tonk, but real sort of good fun, sing-along music. She always made it sound like quite a happy time, to be honest.
Four, 6, 9, 3.
Your kid's a little monster, bro.
Yeah, so just wondered, just ringing up to see how my rabbit is, Joey Essex. He had to stay in last night. Oh, you did? Yeah.
Tell you what, though, if I have a flappy jaw for the rest of my life, I will not be pleased. I mean, to be fair, like, it could be so much worse. One of us could have been knocked out or, like, could have crunched our legs together.
Man, they're scrapping or something, bro.
Oh, the kids.
you reckon you'll ever play rounders again?
I reckon if it wasn't for today, I'll never play rounders in my life. Yeah.
Play a man's game, you pay a man's price.
Hello, St George's. Yep.
A 39-year-old cyclist is being rushed to St George's after being struck by a car.
Yep. Great, we've seen 10. Adult male, major trauma, 10 minutes.
What is it?
It's a 39-year-old man who's a cyclist versus car, was initially unconscious, is now agitated with head, back and hip injuries.
Anyone who's suffered any degree of loss of consciousness or change of behaviour following a head injury, we worry about is there any significant damage to the brain.
So that's 4 mils.
And these injuries can be devastating and can sometimes be life-threatening.
We worked in the same road and he phoned me, he said, if you finished, I'm going to go out on the bike. I said, well, you crack on and I'll tie up with you later when you finish your ride and I finish work. He was like, yeah, cool. And I was just sitting there, my phone rang again and it came up with Mark's name. I thought, that's unusual, Mark don't normally ring me when he's on a ride. I answered the phone and all I was greeted with was I've just been knocked off my bike. I was like, well, where are you? He tell me where you are, I'm on my way now. And when we arrived, you could see that it was like, whoa. His head connected with the windscreen, shattered the windscreen, left a big imprint. As the older brother, I do feel it's my duty to look after and look out for him. Really absolutely shocked me when I see my brother in a heap on the floor. I just wanted him to be all right.
Head nice and still. 1, 2, 3. Lift. 4. Right, nice and still.
He's moving his neck quite a lot, so just keep nice and still for us.
Okay.
Cool, lovely. Ready? So this is Mark. He's 39 years old. He was riding his push bike. It was hit from behind by a car going approximately 40 miles an hour. And he was witnessed to be unconscious prior to arrival. He has abrasions to his face, shoulder, sacrum region, and is complaining of pain to his left hip. Physiologically, it's been stable. However, he was increasingly agitated on the way in.
Okay.
Just bear with us for a second. Just going to check you over from head to toe, all right?
Just try and relax. We're going to get you some pain relief. Any pain when I press in your chest at all? No. None at all? No. That's all okay?
I'm going to get home.
Well, it's all dependent on the results. If you've got any injuries, you might need to stay into hospital.
Mark, can I ask you a silly question? Do you know where you are right now?
Hospital.
Do you know which one?
I don't know, no.
OK. I think we're going to scan him all over. He's a little bit muddled. You can suspect a brain injury based on whether the patient is confused or agitated. You really have to be prepared that they might not be displaying that they're very severely injured, but you don't know exactly what's going on until you get to the CT scanner.
Let's go.
I've always taken life for granted. I've always felt that I'm promised tomorrow and that the people that are around me are going to be there forever, that I'm never going to be that one that, you know, loses anybody. I think I've learned lessons in life that you're not promised tomorrow.
Shmita, yeah, he came on. Oof! What the hell was that?
If my phone goes, I might have to go because my Joey has gone in for his operation today. I had to keep him in yesterday because he was too dehydrated. I had to be on a little drip.
What's your favourite cakes?
I love orange cake.
Orange cake?
Like lemon drizzle, but with orange.
Nah, it's all about chocolate digestives. Chocolate one sides. Thank you very much.
Have you heard of it before, Oscar? What Colin calls a chocolate digestive, one side.
Chocolate one side?
No, but you just shorten it to one side.
No,
You've only one side, then you call them oneies, and then explain them as one sides, and then...
No, you call them
digestives don't
one side.
have to be chocolatey, so
Onesies.
it makes sense, it's just weird.
Sorry about the blood pressure keep going on and off, like just keeping a close eye on it.
Sylvia is awaiting the results of her CT scan after falling at home. Doctors are concerned she may have sustained multiple fractures. Her daughter Liz has arrived at St George's.
Sylvia, your daughter's here.
Hello.
Hello, darling.
I thought you gave up drinking on a Friday. Mum, what are you like?
I no idea what happened.
I know you haven't. Don't worry about it.
My parents got married in 1949. Post-war wedding, Mum had a sort of knee-length dress, and afterwards they all went off to a cafe opposite the station and had tea for their reception. In those days, it was just generally assumed that you would get married. I think Mum always had it in mind that she'd have a family. Before then, she'd been through the war, where she'd sort of had a role, and all of a sudden, her role was up being our mother. Dad was very traditional. He was a breadwinner. He went to work every day as a civil servant, and Mum stayed at home all the time, and she was a full-time housewife. That was just like a different world altogether for her. We didn't have a lot of money, but she was always there caring for us and showing us love and doing whatever she could for us.
Dr. Mark now has the results of Sylvia's CT scan.
So her CT scan report is back. I went through the scan with him. He wasn't sure how much of this was blood and how much was consolidation. Well, I'll give thoracics a ring. She's got multiple rib fractures as well. Hello, Sylvia.
Yeah.
Hello. So we've had the scan report back. Shows, unfortunately, you've broken several ribs there on the left, as well as breaking your hip on the right there.
Oh.
So that's why your chest is hurting so much. But the good news is we can take this collar off.
Oh.
Is that better? Good. All right, let's sit you up a little bit as well. How's that?
My hip.
Okay. All right. Almost all patients who have a hip fracture will receive an operation. And we know that the sooner you can do that operation, the better the outcome for the patient. But the patient has to be physically able to get through the operation. The rib fractures, unfortunately, they're going to be quite sore for a little while. The main problem with those is it can affect your breathing, because if you're not, it can sort of mean that you don't take quite such deep breaths. All right, that's why it's quite important to get you sitting up and to have you sort of taking nice deep breaths, okay? All right.
It was a standing joke that every year we'd go on a holiday to the Herne Bay near Margate. And we'd always, every year, we'd have a new woolly that she'd knitted. Holding out her arms so that she could see if the sleeves were the right length before she stopped knitting them. And they were always the same. They always had a zip up the front with a ring round the top of the zip to help you pull it up and down, and a little collar. In her later years, Mum did get a bit rebellious and say she'd like to go somewhere different. One year we went to Broadstairs. I think Mum enjoyed the change, but I don't think Dad was too keen, so back to Herne Bay. Mum would put all our interests before her own, because that's what Mum was like. She cared about other people and she wanted people to be happy. Yes, I think she was selfless.
Is there anything you wanted to ask, or?
I mean, presumably. How risky is the surgery? I mean, she's got to have it, hasn't she? So,
you have to do it.
Yeah.
There's no alternative.
No.
If you don't do it, then you can never walk again. You can't sit upright.
No.
It's very, very painful.
Yeah.
It's one of those things that they almost always do.
Yeah.
These kind of injuries are quite significant in sort of elder people.
Yeah.
Cyclist Mark is undergoing an emergency CT scan after being knocked off his bike in a high-speed accident.
Perfect.
Is that Mark?
Hello.
I'm going to scan your head and your neck first, and then we'll scan the rest of your body, all right? So all you need to do is keep nice and still for me, all right?
Growing up, we were 3 close brothers. Yeah, I was the oldest. Ian was the middle child, and then Mark was the youngest. Always accused of being favourite as well, because he was the youngest and the baby and got looked after.
Breathe in and hold your breath.
We had pretty good childhoods, to be fair. Dad was a very good provider. Made sure the roof was over our head, we had food, we had drink, but more importantly, clothes on our back. My mum was more strict than my dad, always had us under control.
Breathe normally.
I always got to, being the oldest, should have known better, should be setting the example. They follow you, they look up to you.
Pop this hand above your head. That's it. And then this one as well. Perfect. Try keeping this one like face straight as you can, like that, all right?
We knew everybody, knew all the neighbours knew us. It was a nice place to grow up.
Breathe in and hold your breath.
We were quite lucky. Right outside the front of Mum and Dad's house, there was like a little playing green that we used to play a lot of football on. Summer holidays, constant 6 weeks was playing on your bikes, playing football. We used to play a game called one-touch football. Wherever the ball landed and it was your go, you had to go and kick it. So it was always kicked in like the miserable neighbours' gardens, should we say. You knew exactly what garden the ball was going in if you wanted to get your brother in trouble. You only went indoors if you needed a drink or something to eat. Blind him.
So just pop your hands down by your side again. 1, 2.
Whoa, sorry.
As we grew up, we all moved out, but still sort of like come together at family birthdays and Christmas time and other events where we had sort of like, you know, the comical laughs and the good times. But more importantly, that brother bond for the 3 of us, 3 close brothers.
It's only Sissoko, it's only Sissoko.
Shoot!
Oh, that was close.
Wait, that was so close. Thomas?
Oh, yeah.
You're a Thomas, mate, not a Tom.
Thomas.
Yeah.
Follow me. Okay, Tom, I'd like you to sit here, please. So briefly, walk me through, Tom, what exactly happened.
I was playing sport with my friends and we just ran into each other whilst both looking at the ball.
Basically had a headbutt.
Yeah, we just headbutted each other.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're actually going to go out?
We'll figure something out. Maybe we'll just go to your local.
You want to say ah? Put it under your tongue, please. Thank you. Close your mouth, Tom. Open your mouth. Sorry about that.
Roscoe shouldn't drink.
Why not?
Head.
Do you feel dizzy at all?
No.
Let's just... Okay, so it's deep 1.
It's a critical period.
Yay.
Hold on.
Hello.
So now I'm gonna examine you. I'm gonna be asking you to do some things for me.
Okay.
If you feel uncomfortable, do not hesitate to let me know.
Okay, so I'll probably put about 3 or 4 stitches in. Yeah.
Puff your cheeks for me. Clench your teeth. Stick out your tongue. Move it from side to side. Very good.
Guess it's just a case of staying very still, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Raise your arms up, down. Good. Raise both of these legs. Wonderful. Now, I'd be putting some resistance. Raise it up. Very good. Wriggle your toes. Wonderful.
Thank you very much, Jimmy.
Take care, Colin.
Take care.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Now, I would lie you flat. Will that be okay?
Yeah.
Now, the glue that I'm gonna put on will be stingy. So just, yeah, bear with it, okay?
Okay.
All wounds heal in time.
About emotional wounds.
Oh, that's I don't know about that. There you go. Wonderful.
He's not the kind of person who would tell you if it's hurting either, like by the sound of it, so.
Mark is awaiting the results of his CT scan after he was knocked off his bike at speed.
Hello. Let me find him. He is still strapped down at the moment, so you've got to keep lying flat and looking at the ceiling, I'm afraid.
Mark's brother and family have now arrived at St George's.
Hello, matey. You all right? Open your eyes, babe. Mark. You all right?
I could never ever imagine life without Mark. I'm really grateful to him. A few years ago, me and my other brother Ian had a little bit of a falling out. Family do, didn't they? We fell out of something really stupid. We weren't really talking, but I thought we would have again.
I've got his dad on the phone as well. I don't know if you want to...
No. Yes, I don't know, we just got here, so I'm just going to find
And then I got a phone call one night from my mum. I was working nights at the time. She phoned me up. She said, "Are you up? Can I pop round?" She'd had a phone call from Ian to say that he found a lump under his arm. Ian went to the doctors and they referred him straight to Brighton Hospital, and then he obviously went through the tests and was told it was lymphoma cancer. I felt I should have been there for him.
Have you been for a scan yet? Okay. Let me go and see if I can find out.
I'll go.
I'm sorry, Mark. I know you said he went for a scan.
Yeah, we had quite a bit of pain in his hip apparently when they came, which is why he's got this bind on. So we've scanned him basically from his head to his pelvis to see what damage has been done. We're just waiting for the report to come back, so they need to look through the scan in detail.
Well, thank you. Sorry to...
No, all right, it's all good.
Ian was in East Surrey Hospital. Mark was in touch with him every day, sometimes, 2 or 3 times a day. I couldn't pluck up the courage to see him, and he was like, "Come and see him, come and see him." He kept on and on and on to me, and in the end, I caved in and I said to Mark, "Look, I'll come, as long as you're there by my side. I need you to be with me, because then if he rejects me, I've still got you to turn around to."
She said to stop moving though, babe.
I went. Ian didn't reject me. He actually told me off. I won't use the words that he did use to me. But the question he asked me, "What took you so long?" And I couldn't answer him. I couldn't answer him without a tear in my eye to say to him, "I hurt you, I let you down, but now I'm here." And he forgave me for the falling out that we had. I forgave him for the falling out we had. Mark's helped me repair the damage, to be there for my brother when he needed me most, or our brother when he needed us the most, when he needed his family. I was allowed to, he let me in and let me be allowed to be part of his final weeks and days, really. I'm really grateful for it, really grateful. Sorry.
You're right. You're in a bit of a doze. Yeah. Well, you might as well. You're not going anywhere.
Sylvia has fractured her hip following a fall at home. Doctors are concerned she may need emergency surgery.
Mum must have been 59 when Dad died. He died quite suddenly. He had had problems with his heart. She found him in bed, ill, and tried to resuscitate him, and I called the ambulance. To be widowed at such a young age must have been really hard. But she must have thought, you never know how long you've got, and you need to do things if you want to do them.
Your hip won't hurt as much soon. Now you've had that injection.
She always wanted to travel, but when we were all growing up, there wasn't so much opportunity. I think she thought it was something she'd never do. Mum's sister, she lived in Canada. Mum had never been out there, and eventually she decided she was going to go. So she bought her first passport and went off to Canada for the first time ever, flying. That was a big thing for Mum. I I heard about her going to the CN Tower with her friend, and when they got there, the friend stayed down on the ground because they didn't want to go up there, they were too scared. And I remember saying to her, "Mum, weren't you scared when you walked on the glass floor?" And she said, "Was there a glass floor? I didn't notice that." I just think she found it so exciting. It gave her more of a zest for life after. One of the most memorable trips, Mum and I, we went to the south of France. I remember waking up in the morning and there was brilliant sun, and Mum said, "I can't believe that you can wake up and just know that the sun is going to shine all day." Every time she travelled, it was a sense of adventure. It was so lovely just to see her like that and to see her so happy.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're cold. All right.
Sylvia, you all right? Are you feeling dizzy?
Within 24, 48 hours.
I think we have to make this a code red. She's dropping her blood pressure.
Okay, well, let's go and have a look. I'm right here.
Louis, could you go to blood bank, please, and collect me the cross-matched blood for this lady?
I think that's probably real blood pressure.
Yeah, because it was kind of slowly coming down.
Quite a weak pulse. If a patient does drop their blood pressure, you want to identify where the bleeding is coming from. If it's not controlled, then it can become life-threatening. You also want to think about what can you do to replace that blood loss.
Are we giving 1,500 units?
1,500 units, yeah, please. That will often be in the way of giving a patient a blood transfusion. The lab are going to defrost 2 units of FFP for her as well.
Be comfortable in watching this and be a bit of blood spill and stuff.
But I want to go and phone my sister, so I will go.
Doctors now have the full results of Mark's CT scan.
The cyclist's CT scan's completely normal. We're still waiting for his bloods, and also still needs to do a secondary survey, but I'm getting him out of the collar anyway.
My other brother, Ian, put up a real brave fight for all the treatments and everything. He was told that there's nothing else we can do for you, you're not responding. It was hard watching him go from a character to deteriorate to just a shell of a man. Mark never really expressed his feelings, never really said a lot, but you knew deep down that it was, you know, it was hurting. Your brother's fighting. There's nothing we can do for him. Ian's final wish was that he did pass away at home. He didn't want to pass away in a hospital. He wanted to be in the privacy of his own home, where he spent all of his childhood. Losing Ian was one of the hardest things as a family, as a unit, that we had to do. It was heartbreaking.
Obviously, I did phone the old man, told him, and said, "I'm not being funny. Had you not have had that on, it would be a different phone call now. Yeah. It'd be a different scenario. So there's one thing's for sure, that you always wear a helmet, don't we?
Before he passed away, Ian just said to Mark, "Look, I've got one request. Can you keep my name going? And on the anniversary, can you do an event just to keep the family remembering me?" I just said jokingly, "Let's ride London to Paris then." And Mark was like, "That's a good idea." Fuck, cry, me and my big mouth.
Right, hello, sir. How are you doing?
All right, Ian.
So your scan was completely fine.
Yeah.
Which means we can take this off.
Nice one. Can I go home?
We're still waiting for some of your blood results. Can just make sure we've not missed any injuries.
Yeah. Can I pull that one off? No.
Sorry?
Don't let him touch me. Can I pull that one off? Is there security anyway?
What I want you to do is just turn your head from side to side for me. How does that feel?
I can move now, yeah.
Yeah, let's sit you up a little bit. Okay.
We both promised him that we would complete the ride and we would take him to Paris. He felt like he was on the shoulder a couple of times. I said to him, like, right, come on, Annie, get me up the hill, get me up there. And it was just like the wind started blowing to let me know that he was there and that he was pushing me up that hill. It was real goosebumps. To stand on the finish line, the Eiffel Tower behind us, I knew that he is at Paris with the pair of us now.
Just waiting for your blood results to come back. Let me get you something to drink, OK?
We should have bought some clothes for you if they're sending you. You got to walk out like that.
The cycling was a big part of helping get over the loss because me and Mark rode together. And sometimes when you're out on a ride and you're struggling, you're thinking, well, I'm only doing this for one person. You know, he'd be up there now laughing and saying, you fool, what are you doing? But with the cycling really got that brother bond back for the three of us. 3 close brothers in the end, yeah.
Want to go home?
That'd be nice.
Good.
So I'm good to go now, yeah?
Yeah, you're good to go.
Ah!
Sorry. There we go. Done. Out.
You're such a girl. I can't see you next time.
You all right, boss?
Yeah, how's things?
Yeah, good. I was going to come and chat with you about this lady, actually. So she's 95. She fell out of her stair lift down about 10 stairs. She's got a right sort of proximal femoral fracture, multiple left-sided rib fractures. She's dropped her blood pressure, so she's had 2 units of ONEG now.
How old is she? She's
95. Just whether there's anything else you think we can do. I think her prognosis is quite poor.
Yeah, from her chest point of view, that's the hard. You just have to kind of symptomatically manage. You've been clear with the family.
I've raised it with the daughter. I've said it's, you know, going to be a prolonged recovery, but I haven't said that she may not survive. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
We have a chat in the relatives
Yeah.
room. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
I know
You'll be all right, Mum?
Yeah.
We'll be back.
Shall I come too?
Yeah, you come too.
That's all right. Are you her son, are you?
Yeah.
Delivering bad news is unfortunately part of the job. You have to be sort of open and honest. You do think about how you would want to be treated were you the patient. Fine, come on and have a seat. I just wanted to check where you were with understanding with what's going on. I think it's very difficult because looking at her now, she seems quite bright and alert and chirpy.
Yeah, she's a lot brighter than she was earlier.
It is often the case with sort of elderly people who have injuries like this. It may not seem like a big injury, but actually she's very fragile. You know, there's 2 options for taking her for an operation to fix the leg. There's either doing it under a spinal. That's going to be very difficult because listening to her heart, it sounds like she's got quite a loud murmur there, and that means that the spinal just would likely kill her. And the alternative would be to do a general anaesthetic, so to put her to sleep. Yeah. But you could do the operation, but it would then be getting her off the breathing machine, which wouldn't happen. There is the option of taking her to intensive care afterwards, but you know, you've got to think.
There's no positive outcome at the end of it.
Exactly, and it's not a pleasant way to pass away.
So, are we basically saying that we just can keep her comfortable or something? And she's likely to get a chest infection or something, is she?
So probably what will happen is it will be her breathing, so it will probably get a bit worse, and she'll be unable to maintain her oxygen level, and then her breathing will get worse, and then she'll kind of pass away shortly after that. I just wanted to be sure that you'd been kept informed and that actually you knew that this is
terminal.
Yeah.
Will we know when the time's near?
It's unlikely to be very sudden. It'll probably be a bit of a decline, and probably over the next 24 hours, and then a gradual decline after that. But
don't think I thought it would be that soon, but...
Well, she's done well to last to 95 and still be living at home.
Only 6 weeks off 96.
Is she?
What was the last bit? Yes.
Well, we can go and have a chat with her now then.
Yeah, come on, let's do it now then.
Sylvia, how are you feeling?
Oh, quite comfortable.
You're quite comfortable. So, I know you've been here a little while. We've had chats with lots of different doctors while you've been here. I just wanted to kind of update you with how things were going. So you know you've broken your hip, and you've got several rib fractures as well.
Yes.
Yeah. The difficulty is, it's going to be very difficult to do that operation with your lungs being as injured as they are.
Yes.
Okay. So the feeling is at the moment that we're not going to be able to get that operation done, I'm afraid. The problem is sometimes these lung injuries can get worse before they get better.
Yeah.
And it may be that sometimes when your breathing's that difficult, you can develop chest infections, and it can get a bit worse. So what I'm saying is it may be that we're not going to get you better enough to leave hospital. I'm really sorry to tell you that. You're quite unwell at the moment. All right, well, no, I know you're feeling quite comfortable, and that's very good.
I am, yes.
Good.
Yes.
So I think your comfort is our main priority at the moment. And we're going to do everything we can to make sure you're as comfortable as possible.
Are you saying that you don't think I'll be able to go back to my own home again?
I don't think so, no.
No.
I think that's going to be very difficult.
Yeah. Well, I'm not 95. I think a good life.
Yeah.
A very good life. Blessed in so many ways. Especially with my family.
What we're going to do, we're going to get you to one of the orthopaedic wards.
Yeah.
And the nurses up there are very nice as well, and they'll look after you. And we'll get you onto a more comfortable mattress as well, because this one I don't think is very comfortable. Get you onto a proper bed.
Oh, good.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, I'll leave you with your family. Thank you.
You all right, love? Oh, Mum, I'm so sorry.
It is difficult when you realise that there's a limited amount you are able to do for a patient. I think you never quite put aside your human side. Afterwards, you do think about it, and it can be very sad. I think you always just have to think that you've done your best. You always have patients' best interests at heart. And it doesn't feel like a failure to be doing what is best for the patient at the time.
Thanks, Gia. Thinking about it more, there's guys out there who've probably had less of an accident but come off worse. I would like to say Ian was there that day. I would say so, definitely. The first couple of miles, I was a bit nervous, and I'm glad Terry was with me. But then it just got on with what we was doing, just forgetting about what happened, and just concentrating on riding and where we was going to go, and enjoy the ride. It's good.
I went to see her every day. It was just so strange because we knew what the outcome was going to be. Just before she died, she said, "Oh, we've had some good times, haven't we?" She said I'd had a good innings, and it was just nice that was one of her last thoughts, I suppose. We like to think that, that meant she was happy with her life.